The Cat Pea Technique. I declare the digital portrait experiment a success. I was getting around to painting my favorite GIMP photo, but I still had a problem with painting eyes. So I felt like I needed one more practice test. I remembered Reddit Gets Drawn from my days of I will never draw like that. And while I am not a fan of social media, as it can be extremely toxic and cruel, there was a photo with good eyes that I could practice on. Very good photo. I am sure that the internet stranger I painted will at the very least exhale some air through her nose. The painting exercise was very fun, but also kind of exhausting. It probably took 6 or 8 hours, and I had to get everything perfect in a single sitting. The color palette approach, that I'm just going to call the Cat Pea Technique to keep things simple, worked flawlessly. I did pre-process the image in GIMP to make a caricature, enlarging the eyes, making the mouth smaller, and above all to get a good, solid preview. And it was a very rough sketch. It took 10 minutes, it had double eyebrows, things were overlapping everywhere. But it was perfect. It delivered a preview, a rough outline of where the eyes, nose, ear, lips need to be, and of course, the precious, precious, precious color map. Seriously, you just can't go wrong when you already have everything at the start of your painting. You know something? I did not outline things in the beginning, like in that ancient video from 1995 that I remember so vividly. Very strange. The person just did big blobs of paint in there, and I think that means that they were using a reference image over the entire canvas like I am. I suspect everyone may be doing it. I wish this was more well known. It is really sad that there are people out there who tried digital painting and gave up because they didn't know to stretch the reference image over the entire canvas and drop the opacity down, both for color and proportions. And I did solve the eye problem. I was stylizing them too much. I can't just cut out a circle to make an iris. I need to do it freehand, with an airbrush, like a landscape, so that the imperfection adds more detail to it. The uncanny valley effect was caused by perfection in the eyes. Paintings are meant to be flawed. You can see the perfect imperfections in the final image that I linked to in my Reddit Gets Drawn comment. You know, this also marks my first time-lapse painting video. This was on my to-do since I was a teenager. You can do this too. Art is for all now. We are all artists. Krita and this Cat Pea technique makes it so that the gateways are open. You don't need hand-eye coordination. You don't need to use grids. Just stretch out the reference image over your entire canvas and set opacity to 50% and start painting. You don't need to learn how to mix the colors. Once you get all the big blobs of paint in, once you have your eyes, iris, eyelids, nose highlights and nose holes, upper lip, the dividing shadow, lower lip, once you stop needing positioning information, then drop the opacity of your reference image to 1%. At 1%, it is invisible to you, but it will still respond to your color picker. So as you do eyelid details, you just click the color picker in an area that you feel is wrong to you somehow. and you will get the color from the reference image. You will get the color that you should use for that precise spot. My goodness. My goodness. I really, really, really wish you didn't have to get a pen and tablet, because $40 is still $40. But the pressure sensor at the tip of the pen will let you slowly apply color. The mouse will just dump it in there. But if you press gently with your pen, you will slowly deposit the color. That's the painting part. This is also why this is not paint by number, because you are still using your heart, stylizing how much color you want in there. Once you have your tablet and pen, Krita, the professional painting program, is free. And yes, it does represent a job. You are training yourself for how to become a graphic designer, a digital artist. If art calls to you, or even the curiosity alone, begin taking Krita tutorials as soon as you order your tablet. It is not a very difficult program. You only use like 5 or 6 key combinations. If even that, mostly just brush, eraser, and merge layer. Digital painting is for all. It loves all. But don't use a mouse. Get a cheap pen and tablet. And times have changed. Yes, they did. Technology made it so that we are all artists now. The entry barrier of shape and color that kept so many of us away has fallen now. You are an artist.